All the Above Podcast, episode 7.
Yes, sir. We back, baby.
Getting to it. So another week, new topics. Some
Yeah.
old mixed in with some old stuff, but we back at it. So we appreciate the support. Like us, subscribe, share, tell a friend, just whatever. We appreciate it though.
So
It's good.
nothing, man. Just finished school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm done with
congratulations.
that. Appreciate that. So I'm done.
Nice.
So now I'm moving on to some other stuff. I'm trying to get into that coaching. So
Yeah.
that's the next endeavor.
Oh, it's gonna happen. That's a good look though. Congrats
Yes,
though.
sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate
Big,
that.
big things popping.
Yes, sir.
So, man, so always a lot going on in the world, the sports world. I want to start off in my hometown, Columbus, Ohio. Casey Goodson was murdered by the police. I think it was a Franklin County deputy. So we just pray for his family and hope, pray for the right outcome. Shout out to Sean Walton, fellow Cincinnati Bearcat, is helping out the family with legal services. So
Sean does a lot of great things, man. Sean was one of my guys at Cincinnati. He was like one of my main guys when I was at school, and so good to see him doing great things and helping out the community. He has a law firm and stuff, so he's doing big things and representing us well.
Yep. So he always fighting a good fight. So shout out to the Brown and Walton law firm. So
Sure.
In the realm of sports, there's so much going on. A lot of Twitter conversations been going after the ESPN like top 100 list. I try to avoid it every year because it's so blasphemous.
But I mean, you can't even get mad at the top. I mean, it's like a lot of the stuff that goes on in the media. It's based on people who never played the game, that don't know much about sports and never played sports, and just base it off. It's like sometimes it's like a popularity contest, basically. But I mean, everything's opinion based. If one guy's in there, somebody else gonna be mad. If the other guy's in there, somebody else gonna be mad. So it's all about opinion. So you can't really be. And who the hell is it? Who are these people to say that these guys are right? Who are you to say that you right?
True.
You feel what I'm saying? Like it's no barometer to say who's right and who's wrong. So I mean, you're never gonna be right. I mean, everybody can say who's the number one guy, who's the number two guy. Like
right.
after that, it's like anybody can fall anywhere.
It is a crapshoot. Like for me, I was more upset. Like I get putting Giannis at 3 because he was the MVP. I'm not a big Giannis fan per se, but I was more upset that KD was at number 6.
You think he should be higher or lower?
Yeah. I mean, even off the injury, yes.
You gotta factor into the injuries. You gotta factor injury. You don't know. You don't know. Just like Earl Spence, you don't know what he's gonna look like coming back. You don't know that. You never know. Even though his game is not predicated on like athleticism like that. He's a skill guy. Still, you don't know. You never know. So you can't really just jump out there and be like, oh, he's number 1 or number 2 if he ain't played. I mean, you gotta kind of take that into account. 6 ain't that bad considering all the dudes we got now.
Yeah, that's true. I did I think a year ago I would have been pissed off, but Luka at number 4 is right for me. I think he like a 4, anywhere from 4 to 7 is like a good range for Luka. But I think they're gonna
4 is high, bro.
Huh?
4 is very high.
I mean, it is, but I can see why they did it. It is high because I would put Harden above him for sure. But I don't know.
What are they basing it on? Are they just basing it on what are they saying? Skill? Who's helping the team win? Who's the most valuable? Who's the most skilled? Who's the best? Who does the most? Like, what are they basing it on? Because
I think it's based off of how they're gonna play this year.
Man, you never know, man. If you put that into account, it's gonna be some players that should be higher because they got more motive. You thinking about motivation. You thinking about what happened last year. You thinking about who had more time off between the bubble, who is more fresh. Sometimes a guy who doesn't have a lot of time might be better not having the time off because might be more sharp. You know what I'm saying? Coming straight from the bubble, having to work out and get ready again. might be more sharp. So it's a lot of stuff you got to take it. A guy like Paul George, people might be down on him now, but he might be better this year.
And I think he getting a lot of hell today because of the contract. But the market, I mean, you can't.
Why? Somebody has to get paid. This is
Yeah,
what
I
people
know.
don't understand. People don't understand. People don't understand this. Somebody has to get paid from these teams. There's a set thing that everybody has to make.
Right.
Like when you see 200, a million, 400 some million, doesn't mean he's making that right now.
Right,
it's broken down over the year. So if he's making 45 a year, he's making 45, go out making 40. That's 85 or whatever. Then, but besides the rest of the guys, they got to make up to 200. They got to get to 100 and something. So somebody has to get the money. You got to give it to the superstars. And for them, it's great to have a guy like that who's a superstar still on your team and lock him in for 5 years. That's the point of it. You know what I'm saying? The point of it is a good deal for LA because they're going to have a superstar in their fold for 5 years, guaranteed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think, my bad, I cut you off.
No, and it actually shows Kawhi that we got this guy. Now we want you to stay long term. You know what I'm saying? So that's helping the team. Like that's not a bad thing. You know, he's going to get the money either way it goes, wherever he goes. He's a superstar. Superstars, that's how superstars get paid. In my opinion, there's no contract that's ever been given out in the NBA that is over, that somebody got more money they're supposed to get. They're all underpaid, if you ask me. Like, but there's no contract like, man, they shouldn't have gave that dude that. Why not? Why not? I mean, you only as good as your agent, you know what I'm saying, makes you out to be. Like, if your agent can get you the money, why are you mad because they got paid? Like, I don't get that. Like, it doesn't make sense. Now, this guy's you might think like, oh, this guy should get paid more than that, but also, who are you? You don't know what value a team places on a guy. Like I was like, man, Hurl should have got paid more than Beasley at Washington, but maybe Washington likes Beasley. This stuff that Beasley does for them, or he might do stuff in the community. He might be the greatest locker room guy in the world. You don't know what he provides to that organization. You know what I'm saying? So you never know.
Right. And I think like all professional athletes, I would never take a discount. Like,
no,
you're not taking a discount. Like, why would you?
I was watching the Shannon Sharp podcast, and he was talking to Gil. He's talking to Gil Lorenz, and Gil was talking about how he was pretty much shot after his 2 surgeries, and how Abe Poland, you know, he went to the place and he was like, you know, they offered him $86 million. Abe Poland called him, is like, don't worry about that. You can get whatever you want. You can get it. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't happen. It never happens. You know what I'm saying? But like certain times it happens. You wish it happened, but you got to get the most money you can get while you can get it, because you don't play forever.
Exactly.
And, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Getting the bag, winning, getting the bag, and, you know, if you in the game, shit, why you ain't trying to get paid?
Exactly. So shout out to Paul George. I think he was CAA. They got him paid. I think he worth the money. I think it should. I think because of the playoffs, and he been like the butt of everybody's joke. I chimed in a little bit too, but I think he's still a top 10 player in the league.
I've said this before. I think Paul. I mean, he's one of the most skilled players in the league. He's one of the best, both, you know, two-way players. You see the highlights of people hitting game winners and stuff, but he's like, defense in NBA is like, it's about trying. Like, who tries the hardest is the best defenders. You know what I'm saying? And he always gives effort. Like, you know what I'm saying? He might get crossed. He might get dunked on. That's because he's giving up effort he's always trying. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like KCP, because like at the beginning of the year, everybody was talking crazy about KCP. And I was like, dog, I'm looking at the games like, dog, this dude is fighting through every screen. Like, he's trying to really shut stuff down. Like, even if he gets scored on, he's making it difficult. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff you got to notice, because everybody's not giving out the effort on defense, right? And that be the difference. Like, especially when you get in the playoffs and you got scouting reports and you got to shut certain stuff down. Those are the dudes that do it. Like, that's why people are like, man, Pat Bev, bro, you have no idea. You notice how he's the only dude that pick up dudes 94 feet. He's like the only dude that does that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just get in an argument with this my boy Dan. He hates Patrick Beverly. Matter of fact, he said if the rankings, if Pat Bev is not 425th, then the rankings are null and void. Like they don't matter. I'm like, dude, you have no idea, bro. You have no idea. Like for real. Like you just like people only care about like scoring.
Yeah.
Certain stuff that people bring to the table, you would never understand like the value they bring.
See, I think in order for the Clippers, honestly, I think they should go through PG to put the ball in his hands as the number one, as the premier option. That's my opinion.
See, it's hard because PG's more versatile. So like he's able to run. You can run play like Kawhi doesn't. I mean, he's solid in pick and roll. He's solid off coming on screens, off the curl in the mid range. But PG can do everything. Like he's versatile as far as he can come off the screens.
Right.
You can run a stagger for him. He can run pick and rolls. You can post them up. I mean, you can post both of them up. But PG can do more things. I'd rather have the ball in a point guard's hand and then flip flop it. Whoever has the mismatch, because somebody's gonna have a mismatch.
Right.
You can run plays for him to get him in the post. Same thing with Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? It's you have a lot of options with those two guys on the wing, and I mean you got the other guys, but you definitely gotta run more stuff for him in isolation. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the dudes that he started getting hot too. He make it look real easy. He started getting hot, making the mid range, hitting threes. It get ugly. You know what I'm saying? So I think Kawhi can get his in the flow of the game. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if PG let him cook, because Kawhi gonna get his, and he get his in a totally different way. Like he'll mid range you to death. So I just think for the Clippers to take it the next step, I think they should run through Paul George. That's just me though. But they got some other pieces to fill as well. They got Ibaka. They got some who else did they get? They got Ibaka. I can't think of who else they picked.
I don't even know who they got. That's why I was like, who they got the one? Who playing the one still? Pat Bev and they got somebody else, didn't they?
Yeah, I can't think of who though. But they need to pick up. They should have picked up Rondo. That's what
he went to Atlanta.
Yeah, he went to Atlanta.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard, man. Well, I guess he could have won. But we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be a toss up. They're gonna be in the mix for sure.
Yeah, right. So back to kind of backtracking a little bit, like Steph Curry, he was like, I think 9. He was in the top 10 in that list. Do you think he could sustain? I know he was out last year. Do you think he can get back to the MVP level this year?
I don't think he never left the MVP like level. I think his level ever fell off. You know what I'm saying? It's just that when KD came, it's more KD's show. You know what I'm saying? So it take a little shine off of Steph and what he does. And then last year he had a little injury. And I think he could have probably played through the injury more, but it was so bad it was like, he just rest up. You know what I'm saying? So I think with the team they have now with no Clay, no KD, it's going to be really back more on his shoulders again. But you add Andrew Wiggins, you got Wiseman. I think this is a still a contender team without Clay. Now, if they had Clay, it's even more dangerous. They're like a top 3 team to me. But without Clay, they're still a good team. So he's still going to have to it's going to be like that old Steph, like where he's like putting up the bigger numbers because he has more on his shoulders now. So, they just got to be. I think Draymond's gonna have a big back to a good year because they're gonna have to run a lot of doubles.
Yeah.
They're gonna run a lot of doubles, and that's when they pass it out. They kick it out to Draymond, and he's able to catch it, and then he's able to make plays, catch it, penetrate, find the dudes, penetrate, layup, alley-oop to Wiseman. He's gonna be able to do all that stuff again because they're gonna be running doubles off of Curry, off the pick and roll. So he's gonna be able to do a lot of stuff. I'm interested in seeing how Wiseman's gonna play though. Because I want to see how versatile he is, because they're going to need him to be versatile in that offense when they're running doubles on Steph.
And I think as long as he can rim run at a high level, he probably won't. They won't have any plays for him, but if his effort and motor is up, he can get that level.
His play. This is going to be his play. They're going to pick and rolls for Steph Curry, and the best defense versus Steph Curry for the pick and roll is trap. That's how you take him completely out of the pick and roll. They always trap him. So you trap him, and this is where he's going to pick the pop, or he's going to roll, and Draymond's going to come up, and that's when you want to see if he's good or not. If he pick and pop and he can make a play out of that, then Then you want to see like what he's really made of. And I've seen film of him with crossing dudes and shaking dudes and handling the ball. If he can do that, then it's gonna be about his decision making. If he can do that, he can change that whole team.
You know who I think the X factor is? Your boy
Wiggins.
Kelly Oubre.
I forgot. You know what? I forgot he was there. I just forgot he was there. They gonna be a problem because they got two. Like I said, they on the pick and roll. They might run a double pick and roll with Draymond popping, Wiseman rolling. They're gonna come out, Draymond pop, Wiseman roll to the basket. And got two wings. Now you got to help from one of them. Both guys can shoot the ball, but they both can catch. If you coming out on the closeout on Wiggins and Oubre, good luck. Good luck staying in front of them dudes. To them. I mean, they're gonna have to give us something. So them dudes gotta be able to shoot the ball too, because they're gonna have to give up something. They don't have to close out short on them dudes because them dudes too athletic.
Right.
But they're gonna be running, boy. They should be running crazy.
They got a super athletic team.
Yeah.
And they got Pasha off the bench, Jordan Poole. That's the one I was talking about a few episodes ago. Jordan Poole, Pasha off the bench. I wish they would have got Quinn Cook, but I'm kind of happy he went back to the Lakers.
Right.
So that's good.
Man, just imagine on that starting five, whoever gets it off the rebound, they pushing because Wiseman can push the ball. Everybody's pushing. Draymond getting it, pushing, making the right plays. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a problem, man.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough, man. So I think the West is hell. Like we kind of went over, but I still think they got a shot to make a run. Now, who would be better, Phoenix or Golden State?
I mean, one guy. I gotta see, man. I like Golden State. I like Golden State. You forgetting one of the loss you got at Phoenix is Kelly Oubre.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be crucial.
that's a huge loss. Like the main piece is on their team now. So
who was your like 3-and-D guy?
Huh?
Who was there? With Oubre gone, who was Phoenix 3-and-D guy?
The kid from Villanova.
Oh,
Bridges.
Okay.
I guess I don't know how well he's shooting the ball, but he's the defender wing guy. They really like him there. So I guess I would say him. He'd be your 3-and-D guy now because right. He's at 3. He'll start at the 3, right?
Right.
And I guess Booker will play at the 2.
Yep.
CP3, and then it's like Saric, and then Andre Ayton. But I mean, that's Kelly Oubre. It's a big loss. We 18 a game, 18 something a game.
Yeah,
it's a big loss.
Yeah, that's tough. He had a good interview on All the Smoke. Shout out to Stacking Matt Barnes. That was a good interview too.
I didn't watch all. I saw some of it. I didn't watch. I just saw a clip. I didn't see the whole thing. I gotta watch it. I gotta sit back and watch it.
Yeah, that was fire. Then I watched the Gil and Uncle Shay Shay. That was real good.
Yeah,
that was super good.
Gil's funny, bro. Like, Gil's hilarious. And then the Boo-Ray story is just funny because that's exactly how it be. Like the Boo-Ray story was hilarious because I picture that whole thing. Like I saw it like with my eyes.
So when you living in like the DC area during the Michael Jordan time, like his last year. I mean, not his last year, but like the year before he retired. Was you there still around that time?
So I was there. I don't know, but when he was there, and Richard Hamilton was there.
Right.
I was in high school, and I was going to all the games. I was sitting like courtside because Richard Hamilton was my guy. So I was at the games, crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be like all the games, bro. I just lied. There's before Michael Jordan got there, I believe. Mm-hmm. It had to be before there or after. Whatever. When Richard Hamilton was there, and I used to go to the games. But when he came, my LJ came, it was crazy. It was crazy, bro. Because you know what I'm saying? See, this is the thing about DC. DC is such a basketball city. I mean, it's a sports city, period. They love football too. They love the Redskins, but such a basketball city. Like, the excitement is always going to be there. Like, they always going to have, like, fans and stuff like that. It's always going to be popping. All they need is you look at Cleveland or some of these cities, if then the team is not good, they're not showing up. It's messed up. You know what I'm saying? Right. Even when the team's not great, people are still going to the games. People are still showing up to DC. Right. It's a basketball city. You know what I'm saying? And like right now, with Russell coming in, it's exciting. It's got a new excitement to it. You know what I'm saying? So people, it's gonna be crazy, and I think they got a solid team. So
Oh yeah.
they I just worry about their bench, but
Right.
other than that, they got excitement, and people are gonna be showing up. They always gonna show up. That's why like when Gil was there, it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy because they were good. They were like good.
Right.
And Gil was going crazy, and they were good. And that's why they loved them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, when that Michael Jordan era he was turning. Then they had the All-Star game in DC one year. I don't know if Jordan was there. I remember I worked the All-Star. I've been doing some thing for funny story. I was doing something for something. I was like working, and I was in the convention center. So flashback to probably the summer before, I'm playing AAU in Cali, Dominguez High School at the pump tournament. Shout out to the Pump brothers. They're like one of the biggest AAU guys in a long time. I'm at the tournament, and my game's over with. I had a good game. Baron Davis come, right? Baron Davis is there. He's like, "Hey, young fella, man, I heard you can jump, man. You do something for me. Whatever. I was dead tired. I forgot what I did, but I did it, but I didn't. I mean, maybe I tried to dump from the free throw line, and I didn't make it or something like that. He's like, "Oh man, that's dope." Da, da, da. He dapped me. It was like $100 in there. I was like, "Oh, like for a high school kid, that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's bread." You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So flash forward to this time where I was in the convention center, and I'm about to leave out. So I'm like leaving. I'm about to walk out, and Baron Davis is walking. He had a bad something with him. It was bad. I was like, I walk past, and I'm thinking like, he don't know who I am. You know what I'm saying? He stopped me. He's like, "Hey man, what's up, boy? You that hot jumping dude, man? What's going on?" Like, "What's up, man?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was all hyped because Baron Davis, he's like one of my favorite players. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'll never forget that as long as I live. And it comes flash forward even further, me playing on the Knicks. He wasn't on the team because he was hurt, but he was on the team, so he was always around. He created the Knicks tape thing, the Knicks tape.
Oh, so he created
that thing that year before. So he was like, "What's up, tape?" And he was always around. I was like, "Man, this dude, I used to think he was the coolest dude in the world." Like for real. And then fast forward even further, we playing in the Big Three, like, you know what I'm saying? Just being around. So I was like crazy how all that, from high school to seeing him as a grown man now, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
That's dope. It's probably even crazy for him to even see you.
Right. That's always crazy, man. It's crazy for me to see, like, when I was coming up, like when I was in college, like my freshman year, I went back and did DeMar Johnson's. He had a camp, so I go back and do his camp, and in his camp, Beasley. So I didn't know I didn't know they were little kids. They were like 12, 11, like, you know what I'm saying, like little kids, and they were talking about, man, this kid right here, he's like little, teenager, pimply face and all that. Him and Nolan Smith, pimply face kids, like this dude born like size 16, he was like 12, something crazy like that. Yeah, man, this kid gonna be all right, man. Flash forward, I'm in college, and he's the number one player in the country now. I'm like, damn. Flash forward further, he's the number one player in college. Damn, same thing with KD. Like, seeing these dudes grow up, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's amazing, man. They end up being who they were.
And he played with Frank Martin. He played with Frank Martin at
He did. Yeah, he did. Yep. Shout out to Frank Martin, man. I was just down. They were just down here playing Houston. I got to chop it up with my boy Bruce, who's an assistant coach there, DC dude. Seeing Scott, who's the weight trainer when I was at Cincinnati. He's at South Carolina now. So my boy, remember Scott? Yeah, he works for South Carolina. So I went to the hotel, got to see him. Man, I ain't seen him since I left college, so it was good to see him. Looking exactly the same.
For real.
Seeing Andy, who's like a do everything dude for Cincinnati now. He does that at South Carolina. So all this, so there's some Cincinnati dudes in South Carolina. So we got some ties there. So it was good to see all them dudes.
Yeah, that's dope, man. It's all about connections, man. So that's
like my man, what my man Eddie Murphy said on Life, about capital connections. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what it's about.
Right. So, man, our dog James Harden, they've been giving them hell about his tour or
Hey,
him
man.
not reporting to camp on time and yada yada yada. I don't have no problem with it. None at all.
I don't got no problem. If Houston ain't got no problem with it.
I'm saying, how can they complain?
No, it's not even that. It's like if you're letting him do that, then like, what do you want him to do? You want him to be like, all right, you're letting him do it. He's doing what he want to do. I mean, like, how as a fan, how will anybody be like, man, why is he doing that if they're letting him do it? Don't get mad at him because he's doing what he wants to do. What are you talking about? I mean, and then it's hard to like. It's hard for athletes these days to really sit out. Like, clearly he don't want to be there, right?
Right.
He don't want to be there, so it's hard for him to be like him getting paid as much as he is, him being in a situation here where it's his team and his everything. They put everything on him and they try to look out for him to win. It's hard for him to be like, I don't want to play here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
right.
So he's trying to figure out a way to get out of it, but I don't think they're gonna budge. I mean,
right.
I honestly think it was a play the whole time. I think I said this before. I think the whole thing with Westbrook and all them dudes, I think was a play. Like, let's get out of here. Let's figure out a way to get out of here. And I think Russell Westbrook saying he wanted to leave, and that was like the first domino to get out of the whole situation. I've been saying that, and I mean, we'll see if it works or not. I mean, you're hearing the rumblings.
Man, speaking of that, the Miami Heat. So I know Brooklyn and Philly kind of been in the fold. Now today
they got more to offer.
Yeah, they do. And then the other teams, they kept saying Milwaukee and Miami.
It's impossible to get value without losing the integrity of your team.
Right.
Like Miami can't. Who's Miami going to give up to get James Harden?
This is the crazy part. They were talking about Tyler Hero is the main trade piece. So the rumor mill was saying, like, I know they know in hell this is true, that they were saying they would keep Tyler Hero to not bring in Harden. That's crazy.
I mean, that's not crazy though, because you got a dish. I know I've said this on this podcast a billion times. Subtraction by addition is a real thing, bro. If you replace just say you straight up traded James Harden for Tyler Hero, what does that do for the chemistry of your team? Tyler Hero serves a direct purpose for your team. Right? James Harden comes in with his brand of basketball. How is that conducive to what they have done to get to the NBA champ? I think they just went to the NBA championship.
Yeah.
So how is that helping what they did to get to the NBA championship? How's that helping Jimmy Butler? How's that helping Bam? How's that helping anybody on their team?
I think it would help Bam a lot.
How? He's not a pick and roll. He's not a role guy.
Yeah.
He's not a role guy, and he's not a pop guy either.
True. Yeah.
He's just a do everything. Yeah. I'm gonna get it how I live. If I catch you on the mid, if I catch you at the elbow, I'm gonna make a play. I'm gonna shoot the mid range. I'm gonna go past you, spin. I'm gonna do. He's not a pick and pop. I mean, he can develop into a better Serge Ibaka. He can do. Yeah. He can turn into that type of guy eventually. But right now, he ain't really a crazy role guy like that. He can be, but he's not. He's not like a Clint Capella, and he's not like a Serge Ibaka. So how's that helping him?
Yeah. So adding Harden would take away from Bam. I know it would take away from Jimmy Butler because the ball be out of his hands.
It's not even taking away or add nothing. It's just the fact that the chemistry of the team of what they have already. The pieces they have is the pieces they have. It's the reason they worked. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that would help them further. It might be the same. I don't know if it helped them get further. It might take away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because, I mean, for them, it's kind of like how you was 2 games away from winning. So I can see why they could just stand pat.
In the bubble.
Yeah.
In the bubble. You're not even taking into account the home court advantage of Miami. Yeah. Not because the home court, not because the actual court, because the outside of people coming to Miami. That's the reason why, I mean, they have a home court. It's not because of oh, we got the crazy crowd.
No, it's the
crowd is really lazy.
distractions.
It's really oh man, we go to Miami, we get off the bus. It's like, hey, where we at with it?
Yeah.
We in at? Oh, okay, 112. Okay, we over there. Meet down in the lobby. So, yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When you go to Milwaukee, everybody ain't linking up like, yo, what we doing? Like going to sleep. What are you talking about? This is the game. I'm gonna have a great game on this joint. Like,
right.
it's different. Then you talking about a whole series where you gotta go be there for 5 days, 6 days.
Distraction City.
Got the work.
Didn't y'all go to the playoffs down there?
Nah. When I was in New York?
Yeah.
Nah. We lost. We should have beat Indiana.
Oh yeah.
Go to Miami in the finals, but we lost because Melo and JR got hurt. So we lost. But we beat them twice that year in Miami. Yep, we beat them without Melo one game, and that's like my first game I got to play. Mm-hmm. Like we had no Melo and somebody else. Melo cut his finger the game before in Charlotte. So crazy story. So we get to Miami. The next day we in Miami. So mind you, I haven't played all year. Mm-hmm. So maybe I play like at the end of the second. I haven't played yet. So no time for me. So we get to Miami and they're like, oh, Melo not playing. It's like game time decision. He like went out before the game, got some shots, and he couldn't go. So right before the game. So we get in the locker room. My name is on the board to start. Right? So you gotta understand. So I gotta guard Braun. So I'm like kind of nervous, but I'm like, damn, but I don't know. I don't have time to process it. You know what I'm saying? Like the night before, like I couldn't be like thinking about it. Like I got, focus on, you know what I'm saying? It's just right there, boom, you starting all of a sudden. If not playing. So I'm like, damn. So now I'm hype and I'm like really focused because that's my whole thing is like really I'm sitting down visualizing, thinking, I go warm up, get my warm ready. Right? We get back in the locker room to go, like, you know how you finish warming up and then like you about to do your pregame. I go back in the locker room, my name off the board. Kurt Thomas. They started Kurt Thomas, like they went big and started Kurt Thomas for some reason. So I'm like, damn. Damn. Mind you, I haven't played yet either. So I'm like, damn, I'm never gonna play, dog. Never gonna play. So then I'm like, damn, so then I'm like, I'm sitting on the bench, whatever. But we rolling, like we playing good. You know what I'm saying? We playing well. Got their call, put me in the game. Oh, get it. I'm like, oh, man. As soon as I get in the game, bucket. Chris Bosh, hit a three, hit another little joint, hit a jumper. I'm feeling, but the whole team was hooping though. Like everybody, we crushed them. We beat them like 30 or something. We was up like 30. You know what I'm saying? So that was like my first time getting to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, then we came back down there later on and spanked them again. We matched up good with them that year.
Yeah,
matched up real good with them.
I thought so too. Cause y'all had
if we'd have made it there, it would have been
tough.
It'd been tough.
That was real tough. Cause y'all, it was like, cause y'all had enough wings to throw at Brown and Wade. So it was like you, Melo, Shump. But Shump,
I don't even put me in there because I didn't even like when it came down to the come down, I wasn't playing like that. Like,
all right, whatever. So Shump, JR, Melo, I mean, Chris Copeland in a sense, even though he was more.
Yeah, Chris. They throw Chris in there to guard people. He wasn't the best defender, but he could score. But he's a body, and you know what I'm saying. We had Novak. We had a bunch of dudes. I mean, Steve wasn't a great defender either, but he was a problem on offense. And him and Cope, you know what I'm saying. But we managed to Indiana. They was big, and like I said, Melo was hurt and JR was hurt, so it took away a lot from us. But that was a great year. We had a chance. Like we had a real good chance.
Bro, I hated that Pacers team.
Me too.
I hated him. I don't know why I hated him, but like
I don't like no Indiana team, like none of them. I don't know why. I just don't like none of them. Like I like Chuck Persons. I like Stack Jack. I like Jamal Tinsley. I like Big J.O. Al Harrington. Marquise Daniels. Rest of them dudes, rest of everybody, I don't know, man. I don't like Indiana. I don't like nothing about Indiana. I don't even like Reggie Miller like that. But even though I like Reggie Miller, I don't like Reggie Miller. Like seeing him in the Indiana Pacers uniform is disgusting.
Hey, it was funny. Now you said his name. It's like I'm trying to think what year. I was in college, so my aunt lived in San Antonio. I think it's when he just started working for TNT. So it's like super early. We just now get in the airport. They're in the airport. She like Craig Sager. She like basically the whole crew.
Mm.
So my uncle like, man, he a big Reggie Miller fan. Man, I want his autograph. And I'm thinking like, all right, good luck. It's like 6 a.m., bro. So Reggie Miller, we taking our shoes off at the airport. He got the socks on with the individual toes.
No. Don't tell me that, bro.
But he had the socks on with the individual toes. So I'm like weak. So my uncle was just like, hey man, I'm a big fan of yours. Can I get your autograph? And he just gave me this look like, man, if you leave me alone, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, bro.
I feel him on that. I
do too, though. I do too. I do too. I just feel like I think like the autograph thing should be for kids.
But the only good thing about phones now is you don't have to signing autographs like early takes all day. Like if one person gets an autograph, then you might be there forever. But the thing about phones is you can take a quick selfie. You don't have to do as much. You can just take a picture, like you can take a group joint, like boom, everybody get in here, take a picture, boom, and then you just be done. You know what I'm saying? That's the best thing about phone. You ain't gotta sign. That's just a little more.
I just feel like autographs for kids, man. You can't be a grown ass man like, man, let me get your autograph.
What are you doing with it though? Like, what are you doing with the autograph?
Yeah, exactly. Like, if it ain't no memorabilia, like, what do you have in a piece of paper?
I remember my dad brought me, when I was a kid, he brought me a Deion Sanders, and he got a Deion Sanders and Andre Rison autograph, but it was like on a piece of paper, and I was just like, what do I do with this? I don't have this. Of course, I don't know where it's at now, but like, what am I doing with this? It was a big deal for me at the time because Deion Sanders was my favorite athlete, period. So it was like, yeah, but then it was like,
yeah, man. I think it's not the same anymore. Like the kids of this generation will more want a picture than an autograph. Because you can
they don't collect cards no more.
I know, that's crazy though. I used to have a Beckett magazine, like the see what the cards was.
Bro, I had the damn thing, bro. I had like 4. I'll never forget this. I had like 4 or 5 binders, the big boy binders of cards. I had them in different orders. So I had a whole binder, big boy binder of just Jordans.
Yeah, me too.
Just Jordans. I had like 100 Jordans. I had the hologram. I had like the hologram upper deck joints was worth like, today it's probably worth like thousands and thousands of dollars. Like big bread. I had like 5 hologram MVP joints. I had everything. I had crazy cards. Man, I remember then I was in like 5th grade, man. This Spanish dude broke into our crib and stole all my cards, bro. Stole all my cards. And we knew, I forgot how we found out it was him, bro, but it was like our neighbor. When he was a kid, he broke in our house and stole my, man, it took everything. My dad had to convince me not to put the beats on this dude. So crazy. He ended up getting arrested and everything, but he was still around.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was supposed to beat him, but my dad was like, man, just, you know what I'm saying? And I never got my cards back, bro.
I know that hurt. That hurt me to this day. Like, I had like hologram, like the upper deck joints of everybody. Like, I would have them categorized by like, it's like a sheet of 9.
Mm-hmm.
So I would put 2 in there, whether it was a Jordan book, a Barkley book, or like I had everything, like to the All-Stars, like everything. I remember one of my best birthday gifts, I was 8. So I had a little party at like the Discovery Zone, kind of like you ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like my homie got me, his dad got me like a pack, like a whole like collection of the year. The box. I'm thinking like, I got the box? Like the box, it was $89.90 Fleer. Bro, I had everything in there. I'm talking about like Jordan, David Robinson rookie card. Like
I remember my mom got me a box of Skybox. I think about 89, 90. I had them up. Gary Payton with the hat on.
On draft day.
With the Supersonics hat on.
Yeah.
I had that rookie joint. I had a bunch of I had the Skybox. Skybox
was hard.
Skybox was crazy. Do you remember the X-Men cards?
Yes. Yes.
Had all the X-Men joints.
Yes.
Dog, I had all the X-Men. That was like a real big. That was like I was in 5th grade or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, X-Men joints was crazy too. Like they don't collect cards no more. That's crazy to me.
It's different, man, because like it's such a gold mine. One of my homies, he actually, which is super smart. He's starting to like invest in cards. Like he getting like the Zion rookie cards, the John Morant rookie cards. Like,
bro, I got a whole box of my rookie. I got a whole box, like a box like this big of my rookie card in a thing. Like, but it's not that, like you said, it's not the same. Do the people still like? Are they worth stuff still?
yeah, you'd be surprised.
I gotta get a Beckett. I haven't seen a Beckett or none of that stuff.
But I used to have a Beckett. I should be on Fridays. This is my thing. Fridays, I probably was like 9 or 10. You know, the BET countdown, top 25. Man, I had my Beckett. Listening to like my mom and them, they be watching the TV. I had a Beckett, seeing how much my cards was worth. I'm going through every one, like seeing what was worth what. I forgot I had this Jordan one. It was a Jordan one, and I had an Iverson rookie card that was worth like, I want to say like 500 then. So I can imagine what it was.
The holograms, all the holograms was crazy. Yeah. You had the Jordan MVP hologram, bro. That joint is probably worth like $50,000 or something like that.
Right, you hold that mug and then
them joints used to be worth like $10,000 then. It was crazy because the Michael Jordan MVP, there wasn't a lot of them. There wasn't a lot of the MVP joints. I had like 3 of them because I used to get money and I used to buy the whole box. I used to buy the box, the whole box, and I used to buy like 4. I had like 4 or 5 boxes, bro. And I used to get all the holograms. I had a John Stockton assist, like I had all. I remember that like it was yesterday.
You remember ones with the jersey kind of cut out on the card?
Those are the ones I got in my. Those are the ones I got. That's when I like stopped collecting when they started doing stuff like that. I stopped collecting when that came around. I was done by that.
So one time I was like probably like 8 or 9. So we're in the neighborhood. So we all like it's like 4 of us. We all trying to get money because it was like this collector store. And like where my dad lived. So it was a collector store called Hartman's. So we like, hey, we're gonna get like $20, $25, and we just gonna buy like packs of cards. You know, cards was back then probably was like 99 cents for like the basic upper deck might have been $2.99, $2. So we was gonna split that up, try to get some cards. So we knocking door to door finessing people. Yeah, we trying to raise money for I don't know what we made up. We made up something, but we had enough money. We got like 3 or 4 packs a piece.
Or if I could go back in time and just like, if I had like money now, I would be out there buying big boy boxes. Like, give me all the boxes, like all them joints. Like I had football, I had everything. I had baseball, but I didn't. But you know what? I was talking about this to I think I was talking to my dad about this because I was talking about how my son knows all the players now. My youngest son, he knows all the players. But the only reason he knows them is from YouTube and video games. That's the only reason he knows who they are. Like I know them from the baseball cards, like football cards. But I knew who they were, but he knows them just strictly off of video games and YouTube. Bro. That's all he knows. Everybody though, he don't really know them, but he knows their names. You know, it's crazy.
That's good though. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Like just imagine having like a Luka card, Luka hologram rookie card, like in 20 years, that's gonna be worth something crazy, or Trey Young or something like that.
Right.
Speaking of Trey Young, he got a signature shoe drop with Adidas. I think it's called the Ice Trey 1. They debuted it yesterday on the Jump. So
what does it look like?
I mean, I don't know.
Is it a low top?
I don't think he playing low tops.
So I don't think you do either. I mean, it's just the shoe game is just it's not as good as it used to be, bro. Like you don't get, especially for Adidas, you don't get too excited about an Adidas shoe.
Nah, I know. That's the only thing I was like, yes, Adidas, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, it only take one.
True.
It only take one good, comfortable, good-looking shoe to turn things around. You know what I mean? Like somebody get a good shoe, people be like, all right, I can rock with this. You know what I'm saying? But you know what's crazy? Overseas, Adidas is popping. Adidas is the number 1 brand overseas. I mean, it's not the number 1. Overall, it's the number 1 brand because of soccer. It's the number 1 brand. But basketball, a lot of kids wear Adidas, man. A lot of kids wear them Dames and the James Hardens and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not number 1 like Kobe and KD and all them dudes number 1, but Adidas up there. They wear it more than they do it here.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I can see that.
For sure. So he got a chance, man. He has the type of game that he has like a Steph Curry type of game where kids can relate to him because he's
He
small
gonna take off.
and he use like skill over like athleticism. Because everybody can't have athleticism, but everybody can work on their game and have the skill. Everybody not gonna have the height, but everybody can work on their game and work on their handles and shoot the ball. So that's why Steph Curry is so popular and translates. Like he's the like the everyday person. Right, you know what I'm saying? He's the everyday person. He's just more skilled, and he's like, if he can do it, I can do it.
Yeah, and Trae Young smaller than Steph.
Right.
This his year though, man. Like he been going off like his first 2 years, but this year now he got some help. He got some vet leadership in Rondo. He got a great head coach. It's that time.
We'll see, man, because it's hard to really gauge what's going on down in places like Atlanta if they're not on TV and stuff. Like they used to be good and they still wasn't on TV like that, but they were a little bit more visible. When Joe Johnson and Josh Smith and them was there and it was like good every year.
Right.
They was not on TV like that. You know what I'm saying?
They got no televised games this year. That's big.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so that's hard to really gauge. I mean, you can watch ESPN all you want, but you don't really gauge how great somebody is unless you watching the games, bro. Like you miss all the little stuff. You miss all the great stuff. You might miss him making somebody fall, but he missed the shot, so you ain't gonna see that on highlights. You know what I'm saying? You know, so hopefully they get more the visualization going down there in Atlanta and they can get a little buzz.
Yeah, because I mean he top 3 to 5 exciting player in the league. So I think the world need to see it. I think so, man. He electric, dog.
Top 3?
Maybe not 3, but he up there. Not 3. I'm tripping, but he up there. I'll say top 10 for sure. For sure.
Exciting?
Yes, Trae Young. Yes, I think so. Because you got the Bron, Kyrie, Katie, Steph, James Harden, Russ, Luka.
You just named 7 people.
I know 7. So Giannis for the Giannis people, but Trae Young, Dame, that's 10 right there. That's my 10.
You said Luka?
Yeah, I said Luka.
I guess. You said 3 at first, which is crazy.
No, I was tripping. No, I didn't mean to say 3. 3 is
crazy. He can't even dunk. That's crazy. No, he could probably dunk, but I'm saying he don't dunk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a stretch. I'm tripping. So
Ja Morant.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Zion.
Oh yeah, damn. Okay, I'll figure it out. I might take my 10. I'll shuffle the number.
That's 2 right there. Like you didn't even think about.
Didn't.
Ja is definitely more exciting. He's not better, but he's more exciting.
Ja, crazy. He gonna take off this year. They got a good team though. They got
Adams down there now.
Yeah, they got a good team. So what you think about college ball, man? Colleges, we talked about it last week about kind of stinking up on the offensive end. But I saw something that Coach K was saying like they should not go forward with the season. But I think ironically,
that's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, people are saying like, oh, now you don't want to go forward with the season that y'all get smacked around out here in the streets. I don't know, bro. I mean, it is definitely ironic, but I mean, I wouldn't put that on Coach K, man. He's been a great guy for a long time. I mean, I don't know nothing about that, but I mean, I just would hate to see like, what are you gonna do for the kids? Because that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing for these kids that's gonna waste a year?
Man, it's horrible, man.
You know, so it's like, damn, like, are you gonna give them that extra year and act like this year never happened and just restart it the next year? What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? They're already not getting the full college experience, which is bad enough. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody dream of like living that he got game life. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, that's what you dream about. Like you see it on TV, like going to parties, you know what I'm saying, winning the game, then after the game going to a party, like living on campus, you know. Right. all that type of stuff. That's the college experience. Like that's why I went to college. I wanted to live that type of life.
Right,
But
right.
kids don't get to do that. They like living in like they don't get to do nothing, and they just
In
going
a
to the
bowl.
game. So that's already tough. I mean, if they do that, they do cancel the season. I think that they just need to reset, like nothing happened. But then still, you got kids that's like thinking about going to the league, so like that's going to hurt them, you know. But I mean, honestly, it might help a lot of kids too, though.
Right.
You got a lot of kids ain't looking like they supposed to look coming out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids that's been freshmen this year, supposed to go to the league, ain't looking like they supposed to look. The more film they got on you, the more they break you down.
Right.
So if the season stopped today, that might help. That's going to help a lot of guys more than it's going to hurt them. You know, because they drafting on what you could be, and they don't have a lot of film on you. All they see is the high school stuff, a little bit of college.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to help them. But there's some guys that's on that fringe that they need to show what they got.
Right.
You know what
You
I'm saying?
think big boy from Iowa legit? Garza?
Luka, you know where first of all, you know where he's from. Let's
Oh,
throw
yeah.
that out.
Okay.
Let's throw that out there first. He's another DMV guy. Another
he is.
another one. But and he's Italian, so he's like, that's part Italian, and he, it's difficult to say because I just watched him play for real for the first time the other day. And he's playing against other big dudes. He didn't have the greatest game, but he still was effective. He always effective. But the thing he does, I mean, that a lost art of big dudes is he really seals people. Like he uses his body, and the way he gets positioned is he seals guys. So they'll set a cross screen for him or a diagonal screen, and when you set the screen, he'll come off the screen, and the guys behind him, he's not going to the block. He's stopping right in the middle of the paint with this guy behind him. He's sealing, and he's making it difficult, and he's using angles. So once he catches it, and you're behind him or on the side of him, he's just using angles to get where he got touch. He's smart. He know how to play the game. She got touch, all that. Great defense, great rebounder. You know what I'm saying? But in today's game, I don't know how he fits as much in today's game as he would back in the day. Like back in the day, he'd be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because they used the big. Mm-hmm. But he has touch. He can shoot the ball, and he is effective rebounder. So, man, it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say how overseas he'd be ridiculous because they still play through the big. So, but in the league, it's I don't know because they're really getting away from that.
I don't see why.
Huh?
I don't see why.
I don't understand it either. Like, I really don't understand. Like, even if I have a dominant big dude, right, and everybody else is playing a certain way, does not mean I have to play like they're playing. Like, I never understand that. I still don't get that to this day. If I have Shaq and they're playing 5 out, and they'd rather shoot threes and do all this stuff, then they're going to have to do that because I'm throwing the ball in the Shaq.
All day, every day.
Like it's proven that that's the way you can win, like, since the beginning of time. Like,
exactly.
It's the proven way. So why are we changing everything because of analytics and all that stuff?
And like the Lakers was the biggest team in the league, and they won a championship.
I don't get
it. Why go away from that?
Even they don't really play traditional like back in the day. I mean, they would get AD the ball, but he's more of a mid-post guy, stuff like that.
Right.
Luka, he's going to be stopping, and he's going to try to get the ball on the block or in the paint and, really work like that. And
right.
I don't know if that is what people want anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say, but he's dominating in the college, and I'm glad to see he's hooping like that. Yeah,
I think speaking of and staying in college, Cade Cunningham from Oklahoma State. You got Josh Christopher. It's a lot of Jalen Suggs. There's so many young guys that's just super talented, man. It's just like the game is just like keep evolving, and they just like living proof. Like, I think that those are like top 3 of the top guys of being the draft for sure. Mm-hmm. So it's good to see, man. College basketball, the offense is hard to watch, but
I mean, it's getting better. I seen some semblance of teams get better. Just like Iowa They look good. I mean, they know what they want to do. They want to get the ball to Luka, play off of him. They was running great plays to get him the ball, and then they was playing off of him. They got nothing but shooters around him, and they were playing great around him. Man, it's been some good teams out there. It's just early in the season, I guess. I watched Xavier versus Cincinnati. It was like, Cincinnati's like first game.
Yeah.
Against a team, and they was a little out of sync. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it's their first game, especially against a good team. So.
Right.
I mean, like anything, a lot of these guys didn't have no preseason and stuff, so it's not gonna be as good as it's gonna be, but it's gonna get better as the season goes along.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, man, like as what you said the last like 4 or 5 episodes, we talking about boxing. So Errol Spence came through and beat up, Danny Garcia pretty convincingly. He looked pretty damn good to me. I think he's ready for Bud, but I think they're gonna throw Pacquiao.
He looked great, man. He looked great. I mean, I think here's the thing that people don't understand. They keep jumping. First of all, these two dudes want to fight each other, Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. There's no ducking either one. Right. Both of them are animals, right? But you got to think about what makes sense right now. We're in a pandemic, right? So how does it make you want to get as much bang for your buck as you possibly can? So what's the best thing to do? Have them fight in a packed stadium.
Oh, yeah.
2 undefeated dudes fighting in a packed stadium in Dallas or Vegas or wherever for all the marbles, to unify everything.
Right.
In order for that to happen, somebody got to get that belt up off Manny Pacquiao first. Right. So what we're doing is we're trying to plan around it so it make it go like by next year or by the end of this year, when hopefully stuff is back to normal, almost, you can have people in the stadiums. Somebody done beat Manny Pacquiao, or either Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence beat Manny Pacquiao, took his belt. Now, if Earl do it, he'll have 3 of the belts, and then only one left, and that's Terrence Crawford. Both of their goals is to be undisputed. So that's when they come together.
Right.
Now, that's one of the biggest fights of all time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Undefeated dudes for all the belts going against each other. That's what it's about. So people got to just relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Down, but they're going to fight. They're going to fight for sure. And, I mean, even if they lose, I mean, to me, it's nothing wrong with losing. That's a thing that gets annoying with me after this Floyd Mayweather era. Because people if you lose, you're no good no more.
Right.
Because of Floyd, because it was like all about Floyd's whole campaign was about the I haven't lost. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now that when people take the L, it's like they just throw them away, bro. Like they nothing. God, if you fighting the best people, you're gonna lose.
Right. That's like Mike Tyson got 6 losses, but nobody talk about it. Even
shit, I talk about it all the time. Somebody try to tell me Mike Tyson's the greatest fighter of all time, that he's the best heavyweight. I say you're a liar, sir.
Who's the best heavyweight of all time?
It ain't Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson ain't in the top 10. Answer this question, and I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. I love Mike Tyson.
Me too.
From the bottom of my heart, like person, everything. Name me one elite fighter that Mike Tyson beat. Besides old Larry Holmes.
I gotta play the Jeopardy music.
He beat some solid guys.
No, I'm joking. He never beat no top guy.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you his best wins is Razor Ruddock twice, Frank Bruno twice. Frank Bruno might go to the Hall of Fame because he's a UK fighter. He's like one of the first UK heavyweight champions in the world. So he might go to the Hall of Fame, but Frank Bruno ain't no. You don't know about no damn Frank Bruno. Nah. Frank Bruno ain't no all-time great. And neither is Razor Ruddock. Razor Ruddock, when Mike Tyson beat Razor Ruddock, though, Razor Ruddock was a problem. He gave Mike Tyson problems, but Mike Tyson beat him twice. But he's not an all-time great fighter. He never beat nobody else all-time. When he fought the all-time greats,
he got them paws put on.
Lennox But I also can say this, though. He wasn't in his prime either. He wasn't the same person.
Right.
Do I think Mike Tyson beat Evander Holyfield in his prime? I don't know, because Evander Holyfield will always give him problems. His type of fighter, Do I think he beat Lennox Lewis? I don't know, because that type of guy will always give him problems. A tall, rangy dude would give him problems. But I can't say. I mean, I got to go off who you beat. What'd you do?
Yeah.
I mean, the eye test is marvelous. I just watched him versus. I was watching him versus Spinks. I watched him versus Holmes. I watched him versus somebody else. I watched like 2 or 3 fights. He was never like at the when he first started, he used to throw a lot of combinations and stuff like that, a lot of moves. But as he went on, he didn't throw as many combinations. He was hold hold on me, be inside, come back, those couple joints, hold. That's how it was. A lot of dudes. I don't like to compare eras because I think
you might
get so much better as time goes by. But boxing is one of the sports where you can look at it and be like, I don't know, like, did you beat up George Foreman?
Yeah, that's true. Because I mean, you think about it, he really never. It's kind of like Bud Crawford in a way.
What you mean, as far as Mike Tyson?
Bud ain't beat nobody for real, in my eyes.
See, Bud ain't beat nobody at what weight division he's at now, except for Kell Brook. But before that, he was undisputed at 140. He beat some dudes. He beat Victor Poster, who's supposed to be great. He beat Gamboa. He beat some guys. I mean, he ain't beat no all-time greats.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem. And that's why these guys have to fight each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you become all-time great.
Yeah, the fight.
Is if you fight each other. Like, what makes you all-time great is that you have these all-time great fights.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who's to say that, like, if Sugar Ray Leonard never fought Tommy Hearns or never fought any of these dudes, but they just fought other people. Yeah, he looked great, but who's to say he's great? Who's to say this guy's great? Who's to say Tommy Hearns was great if he never fought the great fighters?
Right.
You can't say he's great if he never fought the great people, the other people consider great. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what made Tommy Hearns and Roberto Duran and Sugar Ray Leonard, and that this could be those people that we have now at 140 can be the same as those. It could be the same if they fought each other. You can have these type of fights. Look at the Sean Porter Earl Spence fight. Great fight, right?
Yeah.
To the wire. Keith Thurman, Porter, crazy. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, crazy.
Yep.
Porter, Danny Garcia, crazy. All them fights was great fights. You know what I'm saying? They came down to the wire because they fight great people.
That's one thing about. No, go ahead, my bad.
I'm saying you don't knock out great fighters. Like, you don't just go through. You don't just wash great fighters. Like, all-time great fighters, you don't just wash them. Somebody might get clipped or something like that, but you don't just wash them. They don't get washed by each dude. They have great fights. That's how it happens.
Yeah, that's how the sport is. But that's like Floyd, man. Floyd fought everybody.
He didn't, though.
Who did he not fight?
He didn't fight everybody.
He did. He fought everybody.
He didn't. He ducked a lot of smoke. I'm gonna give you. He ducked the Winky Wright.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He ducked Paul Williams.
Yeah, he did duck Paul Williams. I will say
There's some dudes he didn't fight Manny at the time he's supposed to fight Manny.
But Manny was drinking.
I don't know whose fault it was. It just didn't. I don't know whose fault it was. It just didn't happen when it was supposed to happen.
But look who he fought though. He fought what? But look who he's fought though.
My argument for Floyd. I mean, I love Floyd too. I think he's better than Manny Pacquiao. But they always compare their resumes, and I always say Floyd fought these dudes before Manny did. You know what I'm saying? And in different circumstances. Like, Floyd beat De La Hoya first. He beat Ricky Hatton first. He knocked out Ricky Hatton. Then before him, I think he fought Cotto second. I think he beat Shane first. He beat certain dudes first. He didn't fight Margarito either. Floyd didn't fight Margarito. It's certain dudes that Floyd fought first, and then Manny fought, and then people gave Manny more credit. Like, people gave Manny more credit for what he did to De La Hoya than what Floyd did to him. When De La Hoya had to drain crazy weight to fight Manny Pacquiao. Yeah. And of course he looked like that after he was already pretty much done.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Then you got Shane Mosley. Floyd beat him, but Manny beat him. But people gave him way more credit.
Right.
That was after Floyd. Not the same Shane Mosley. Then you got Ricky Hatton. He knocked out Ricky Hatton. Well, Floyd fought an undefeated Ricky Hatton. Prime confidence Ricky Hatton.
Didn't he fight him in the UK?
Probably not. I think he fought him in Vegas. Prime Ricky Hatton at the top of his game knocked him out. Yeah, of course. After you somebody already knocked him out, he ain't gonna be the same person no more. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I look at it like, I don't think there's any time when Manny Pacquiao could beat Floyd Mayweather.
No, hell no. No.
No time,
Not
because it's just the styles of the fighters. It's just the styles. But yeah, I mean,
what you think about Floyd fighting in the exhibition?
it's cool. I think it's gonna bring more. I think it's good and bad. I mean, it's cool because it's money and it's gonna bring more eyes to the casual fans. Like, that's what boxing. The essence of boxing, the thing when boxing is at its height, it's about the casual fans, the people that don't know about boxing. It's the people that don't know who these guys are. That's when boxing's at its height, because they just care about like who's like, oh, it's a spectacle. I want to see. It's like the Roman gladiators. They just want to see blood. They just, oh, this is a spectacle. They want to see. Yeah. So Logan Paul's bringing in the YouTube people and all these people that don't really know nothing about boxing.
Right.
That's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for boxing. I mean, he not hurt nobody taking the fight. People always complain about and make it look boxing, but it's not hurt. It's an exhibition, not really hurting anybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think. I think people blowing it up out of proportion. Like, oh, he broke and if you got a free,
he might be. I mean, but I don't count nobody's pockets. I mean,
right.
Do what he want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a thing. He can always make money doing this though. That's the thing. Exactly. So he can never be truly broke if he can always make money. Yeah, if you gonna pay, people gonna watch it.
And he probably gonna bet on himself. So
people gonna watch it. And it's crazy. Like I was saying about the casuals. Like, think about when boxing was at its height. Like, even like in the Mike Tyson era. Mm-hmm. Like, people, like celebrities, everybody like really was in the boxing because of Mike Tyson, bro. People wanted to see, people was tuning in to see him knock people out. That's it. That's all. Right. That's all he wants. This crazy dude coming in here knocking dudes out, and that's all they cared about. And that's when boxing is crazy. When the casuals are in it, that's when it's crazy. And they gotta get back to that.
I think it's getting there. I think once the pandemic is over, I think it's gonna be there. I think so.
Boxing's only as good as the heavyweight division.
Well, true. I was just about to say that because I was just about to say that the heavyweight division is. I mean,
no, I think the heavyweight division is good though. It's just not. It's not crazy, but it's good because they got good characters.
But you got to know boxing.
They got guys that are good, and they got guys who haven't fought each other yet, but they got a lot of fights to be made. So you got Tyson Fury, of course, great character, great fighter. You got Deontay Wilder still out there. You got Anthony Joshua, who fights this weekend, still out there, and he hasn't fought either one of the dudes yet. Mm-hmm. And you got some other guys out there. You got Alexander Usyk, who's a cruiserweight champion, undefeated, coming up heavyweight. He's crazy with it. Dillian White. You got this dude. You got Povetkin. You got dudes out there. You got some dudes that you got this African dude out there that just be knocking dudes cold out. I know you seen the footage of when a dude walked out the ring.
Yeah.
That dude that made the dude walk, Jebre, what is his name? Beckway, him. So you got dudes.
Man, what happened to my dude from Philly, man? Jennings.
B.Y. Jennings.
Yeah.
He's like he does a lot of sparring. Like, he does a lot of stuff where he's helping. Like, he was in like David Sejour's camp. Like, a lot of dudes be working with these guys. They go to their camps. They get paid to go to their camps and spar with them and stuff like that. He's been doing that a lot lately. I don't know if he even fights anymore. And he had some promotional problems. I follow him on Instagram. I talk about it. He had some promotional problems for a little bit. But he got his last fight. I think he got knocked out against Regis or something like that. He was actually winning the fight, and then he got caught at towards the end. But he's a good fighter. He's always solid.
Yeah, I liked him. Man, I think I think I'm gonna try to check it. I might watch it tonight. The Hector Camacho.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah,
you watched it?
I haven't watched it. I heard it was good though.
Yeah, I heard it was fire. So I'm gonna probably check that out tomorrow.
Where's it on?
I think Showtime.
Oh, speaking of Showtime, I got a new show. Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Yeah, my man Walter White, he's back.
The GOAT.
My man Walter White's back. He playing a judge. He's a judge, and his son commits a crime. I'm not gonna tell you the whole thing. He commits a crime.
Okay.
At first, he's like, he doesn't know, but his son tells him he did this, and then he's like, at first, we gotta go to the police. So he goes like, let's go to the police. He like, stay in the car. He go to the police station. And, he a judge. People know him. He go in there and he sees the victim's family crying. He don't know who the victim is, but he sees the victim's family like crying. But who the victim's family is a mob boss. So he leaves out there like, never mind. We're not telling them nothing. And then he's trying to, that's the first episode. Like, yeah, it's going to get real.
How many episodes you in?
It's only one episode.
One? Okay. Bet I'm gonna check it out.
It's only one episode. Yeah, it's getting real. Yeah.
Bet I'm gonna check that out. So we're getting toward the ends, our usual, what is she on, what is he on, what are they on? There's so much to even talk about. Like,
what you want to do? Who you want to go? Who wins it this time?
Oh man, Jamel Hill. She. I think what hurt me more, I know it was a troll job, but him with her with was it Jake Paul?
Mm-hmm.
I get them mixed up. So when she was talking about like on her and Carrie Champion show, on Vice, she was interviewing the Paul dude, saying like, given the climate, do you think it was racist that you did Nate Robinson? I know it was a troll. But it was just the timing of it. It's just like, come on.
It was so cringeworthy. And it was so cringeworthy for him too. And I like the way he had it. Like, oh, what? Like, what
he played it off so cool though.
But it's like with her, so it's an ongoing joke on Twitter. Everybody who's on Twitter, it's an ongoing joke that she's like the corniest person in the world.
Yes.
Everybody, like, how many times you gonna talk about Popeye's biscuits? And like, always like something. She's always doing something. And I see it retweeted and somebody calling her corny. And this was one of those corny moments. Like, come on. I don't know who came up with that idea. And then Carrie Champion, who I love, is co-signing it.
I know, that's what's the worst part.
Come on, Carrie. Like, you're not even in the corny field. Like,
that's not even her lane. And it was
but I say this about her, Jamila. To me, she's done way more good than like nothing. No matter how corny you call her, she can never be in a bad light for me because the stuff she done that's good, like her standing up ESPN and doing all that kind of stuff, and the show she had before, her rising up, seeing her from her start and then rising up and having her own show with Michael Smith and all that stuff. She's done so much good stuff. So this was definitely corny. I don't know what she was on.
Yeah, big corny.
Like people be bashing her. I don't even be on the bashing train like that with her because she's done so much good. She's done way more good to me than the little Twitter thing. It's hard, man. Twitter can turn on you so fast. And once you got one little thing,
bro,
it sticks with you. Like,
yes.
Like one time, especially somebody who's famous, like one time you gotta be corny. And then you're corny forever. Your joint can be kind of funny. It's still corny. Like, you still corny. You talk about Popeye's biscuits again, you corny.
Her habit. And that's like the Desi Banks dude. Like, I don't think he's that funny, but I think it was
Desi. I thought you said Drewski. Because somebody trying to say Drewski wasn't funny.
Drewski fun. He the funniest.
I was about to go in on him. It was like, he's not even funny. I've seen one thing that Drewski did that wasn't funny. Other than that, every time.
He do not miss.
He never missed. It's like he's spot on every time. Like, so I'm like, dog, if you don't find this dude funny, I don't know what you want. Like,
did you see how he was acting like Vlad, DJ Vlad on the one interview?
I didn't see that.
Oh, I gotta send it to you. Speaking of Vlad, man, like,
what is he on?
What is he on? He been.
I'm a defend Vlad. If your monkey ass go up there and talk to Vlad, especially if you're a musician, if you got something going on. Now, if you're like a gangster, like sometimes they have like gangsters and people like that on, and that's what they have nothing else to talk about but that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That I understand. But if you're like a musician and like you got music and you got stuff going on, like you should be talking about that stuff. I know that's not the stuff that sells,
right?
But that's what you need to be talking about.
It'd be like Pee Wee, man.
So many times people have gone up there and that's their fault.
Yeah,
everybody want to make themselves look bigger than that. People cannot help but to talk about themselves, bro. They can't help it. They can't. Like, people can't help it, especially if they feel like it make them look better. Like, if you're a gangster rapper and it make you look better, like, Yeah, man, I shot it, nigga. It make you look better and make your sales go up. They can't help it. So
Yeah.
you put a camera in front of the camp, dude. I watch YouTube all day, and I watch flip the script and all that stuff all day, and watch these gangster dudes come up there, and they tell all this stuff, their whole life story, bro. They can't help it, bro. Pete, that's how people naturally are.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I guess they kind of put themselves in that position, but hey, shout out to Pee Wee Longway. He did the best interview.
He wasn't going. He wasn't going.
He wasn't going. So
I wasn't. I was doing the right thing.
right. Nice color, my boy.
I wasn't doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, we all wrapping up, man. We appreciate all the support. Continue to support the movement. Like, subscribe, share, whatever. Appreciate it.
We out.